Get the club to pop when I come up with the crop. Gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with everybody. We do it. Everybody. We do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Club spot, get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot.
What is good, guys? It's your boy MJ in the motherfucking building, and you're tuned in to another Trap Talk with your boy. And I appreciate you guys tuning in so much. All the early birds in the building, man. It's I can't even keep up with the early bird comments anymore. So many of you guys, man. But I do appreciate every single one of you. All right, man, you're it. You're tuned into the coolest reptile podcast in the entire world right now. Right now. Before we get started, man, if you support the channel in any way, do your boy a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscription button. Then go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Speaking of comments, man, shout out to my boy. Did I get his... is he in here? Let's see. Is he in here? No. Anyways, shout out to my boy Lucas. Lucas, hit me up, man. You got a sticker for the sickest comment on the last episode, so I'm going to hook you up with the sticker, man. So shout out to my homie Lucas. And then obviously, if you want the freshest and best delivered to your doorstep, that's www.coldbloodedcafe.com. I'm talking about the day one pinkies all the way to the mammoth rat. Shit is fresh. Shit is bomb. You got to go that route. All right. And then obviously, if you have eggs, they should be inside a sim box, man. Put those babies inside a sim box. Guarantee you're going to have a high success rate when it comes to hatching those bad boys. Shout out to the homie Aussie Boys LLC for the sponsorship. And then Cocoa Blocks, Freedom Breeders, sickest racks I've seen in the game, period, man. But yeah, man, just want to say shout out to everyone who's been tuning into the podcast, all the support. If you want to follow me on Instagram, make sure you give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I post most of my snakes that I have available for the snakes that I do produce. You know, I don't produce a shit ton of stuff, but whatever I do produce and I put out there, I put it out on my Instagram before anything else. And then make sure you follow the channel's Instagram where you could see that I, you know, post clips and whatnot, Trap Clip Tuesdays, all that wonderful stuff, man. And then, you know, you can't not go fuck with the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast channel. Make sure you go tune in. Make sure you check out those podcasts because they're just on another level, man. They're probably just as sick as this one, but on an educational fucking level. I don't even want to say educational because it's just fucking, it's all over the place. Dysfunctional, all sorts of shit, man. And, you know, we got that Unfiltered Reptiles apparel, the limited edition Fuck Bob Smith hashtag shirts. And then obviously I got just a handful of Trap Talk podcast shirts left. I think there's a few sizes left, but make sure you reach out to me. I'm only coming out with these once, and then that's it, man. You could be one of those people who could be fucking looked at weirdly by a guy named Bob Smith and be like, hey, man, what the fuck did I do to you? And then you could just explain to him it's a lifestyle. It's not you personally, man. Stop being so insecure, Bob. But, man, coolest fucking podcast in the world. Why do I say that? Because the fuck guests I bring on. I'm not saying it's because of me. Maybe. No, I'm just saying, no, it's not, man. It's because of the fucking guests I bring on. I bring on some cool ass motherfuckers. Like tonight's guest, the homie Bob Vu. I met Bob over at Arlington over the weekend at the show, the Arlington show. Was that last weekend or the weekend? I don't know. Fuck. But anyways, I spent, you know, a little time with him and got to see how fucking funny the dude was in person. And, you know, I asked him and got him to commit to come on the show when we were pretty sauced up. And sure enough, sobered, he was like, yeah, I'm still doing it, man. But sure enough, man, this guy's fucking repping Georgia. Not sure where in Georgia, but we're going to find out soon. But here's my boy Bob Vu over at Bob's Balls. What's up, Bob?
What's going on, brother?
Dude, appreciate you being here. And like I said, I fuck with that background. That's a pretty solid background right there.
Thanks.
You have that on a sticker, is that right?
Yeah, so this is a like 5-foot wide sticker I got from Sticker Meal. Let me see if I can show you my other sticker. Bam.
Yeah, look at that room. I love that room. Woo! That room is sick.
Man.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Shit's everywhere.
That is sick. How long have you had that logo for?
I actually had a buddy draw that up for me, just like as a picture, and he sent it to me, and I'm like, man, I really like that. So we just had it digitized and made into a logo.
Bitchin'.
And we're gonna use it until somebody sues us.
Now, real quick, I do want to. That's true. You know, you just gotta. I mean, the more clout you get after this show, you probably will get sued. Unfortunately,
right.
It is the coolest reptile podcast in the world, so you're about to get spotted. So I apologize for that. Maybe we could work a deal out or something. But this thumbnail is from an actual legit picture. This is from a real picture, right?
Right.
Of you wearing that robe. That's a real Versace robe. Is that right?
I don't know. It came from Wish app, so yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, cool. Fuck it. We'll go with that. But yeah, I remember seeing that picture probably like kind of in the beginning stages of me following you, because you're one of those people, Bob, who I stumbled across as soon as I came into the hobby. And, you know, I look at fucking people's presentation, you know what I mean? I just saw how neat and fucking, you know, I would say professional the pictures you had posted, and then obviously the quality of your snakes and whatnot. But that picture right there is super iconic to me, and then turned it into a cartoon. I thought that was sick as fuck too. So I didn't have a choice but to make that your thumbnail. I hope you're okay with that.
No, that's fine. I actually I took that. Oh, that was like last Halloween. We were super sauced up, and who was Cedric told me, he asked me if I wanted to do it into a cartoon for one of his websites, and they're gonna sell shirts like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it, and I like the cartoon so much. And I told him, like, slim me down a little bit, right? Slim my face down a little bit for the cartoon. And he was like, yeah, we'll work on it. And it came out real good, so we started using that too.
Yeah, he probably should have made you a little bit more swole, because you're not really you're not a skinny dude, but you're not fat either. But you know, you're pretty swole. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get to it. Yeah. I'm not like a Matt Hahn. Do you remember Matt Hahn?
I heard of Matt Hahn. Yes.
Yeah, he's like the bigger Asian version of me.
Okay. All right. Cool. Do you know who Harrison Wang is?
Oh, I know Harry Wang very, very well. Unfortunately,
You're like the bigger version of Harry.
I'm slightly larger Harry.
Yeah, for real. That's why I was like, damn. You know, I hope Harry's not bent. I'm about to have Bob Vu on before I brought him on, because.
Oh wow! Am I the first Asian breeder on here, or do you already have Daisuke?
No, you're actually the first Asian, like, you know, legit Asian American, which is still sick. I fuck with that, but I'm just saying you're the first legit Asian to come onto the show, so I appreciate that.
Oh, like no Chun Koo, huh?
No Chun
Park. You couldn't get Thai Parks.
I don't change the subject. So let's. No, you're legit. You're the first legit Asian. Now, let me ask you about that. Were you born and raised in America, or did you come to America later on, or what's your background like?
Oh no, I was born in the jungle. I came here when I was 4 and grew up in Florida.
Wow. Okay. And where'd you come from?
The jungle, man. I said
there's a lot of jungles. It could be Brazil. It could be like
Vietnam. From Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay. Wow. Do you recall at all being, you know, 4 years old at Vietnam, or before you came to America? I
mean, I remember some, like, very vague. And every time my mom asked me, "Hey, you remember that one?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember that one time I was 4." Like, no, I don't remember that one time. Like,
Yeah, that waitress that brought you the birthday.
I was like, what's for? She was like, yeah, one of our servants. I'm like, I don't remember any of our servants, dude. Like, come on.
So okay. So how old are you, bro?
31 this year. Oh God, it sounds worse when I say it out loud.
35. So don't worry. It's
It's terrible.
Mean, 85. So you're what? 80, 89.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. All right. You're right there in the cut. 80s baby. Sick, man. So you came over. What was your English like?
I was 4, so learning English wasn't very difficult. They just threw us in school and hope eventually. My parents don't speak English, so at home we don't speak any English. I actually had to take ESOL classes. For any of my foreign followers, I know you guys had to take those too. And you have to take like a English comprehension test every single year if your parents don't speak English at home. Wow. So up until high school, I had to take that test, and you can tell my English is fairly decent. But I had to take that test up until high school.
Wow.
To prove that I speak English.
So you're pretty much on your shit. You didn't have a choice because you're constantly tested to make sure you knew, what the fuck you're doing here in America. So, I mean, hey, I don't think it seems like you were, the reason why I asked, because it seemed like you were maybe from America, so I couldn't really tell if you had that accent, that thick accent. So,
right. I mean, I speak Vietnamese fluently too. So when I go down to Chinatown and I talk to those people down there, and they all assume my English is bad, and then I speak to them in English, or my friends in English, and they're like, "Wait, were you born here or born over there? What's the situation?"
Yeah, it could go either way. That's awesome. You could, you know what I mean? You could either, depending on the crowd you're with, if it's bad to say that you came from Vietnam, you'd be like,
"Oh, I'm like, no, I was born here in
America. I live in Georgia. What the fuck you think?
South Georgia boy.
Come on, bro." Bitching, bro. All right, cool. So, school. You grew up in Georgia. So what part of Georgia are you from?
I grew up in South Georgia, but right now I am about 45 minutes south of Atlanta.
Okay. So, and then that was your area. That's where you went to school and all that shit. You never left.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah. I moved up here about 2-3 months ago. But I've always been in South Georgia.
Okay. Why Georgia? I mean, other than your family, but like what? I mean, what's up with Georgia? I mean, I've heard it's beautiful and stuff, but I also heard it's fucking, the humidity's ridiculous and you have the biggest bugs and shit. But why do you kick it in Georgia? What is it that you like about Georgia?
Right. So my family moved up here in 2001. And then, so I just grew up here, went to school here, went to college here, bred snakes here, got a good community of snake people here. Nice. I want to say we have the best snake community in the States, just with the crew we have around here. And my parents moved back to Florida. My brother went back to Florida. Everyone moved back to Florida. I stayed up here. My wife's family's here. She was born and raised here in Georgia. So we decided to stay here. If we have kids here, I'm just going to throw them at her parents' house and let them babysit. No, the crew here is great, man. The Georgia crew, and I wish every single state had this. It makes it so much easier for new breeders. Like, honestly.
Is this the crew?
Yeah, there's a crew. There you go.
Just a crew. All right. I figured that was the crew. This is my boy right here, right there, the homie Matt. I will talk about him in a minute, probably later.
Oh, you got I'll tell you
the reason why I was like, man, because Matt doesn't really have he doesn't fucking. He likes a lot of people, but who his boys were, or who he really really fucks with, and I could tell you and him were tight. You know what I mean? And Matt Matt brought me in. I have one of his beautiful Burmeses that he's bred, his hypos and shit that's ready to breed this year. And the dude's just fucking I wish I lived close to this dude, because I'd probably be sitting somewhere, maybe a couple rows back, but I'd probably be sitting right there, chilling with you guys and shit. But let's talk more about the community, man. Let's talk about your crew, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So we have a good community here. We do shows together. After a show, we all go out to dinner. There's going to be 50 of us having dinner together. Thanksgiving's coming up. I do Thanksgiving in my house every year. That Sunday, everyone comes out, all the breeders, and then everybody brings some food and we have Thanksgiving together and look at snakes. So it's a good community, man. And I wish the other states had it, because when new people start breeding, I think one of the worst things that can happen to a new breeder is getting tied up with the wrong people, negative people, stuff like that. But when you have all these breeders giving you good advice and helping you out and showing you how good of a community it is. It's so much easier to stay in it and keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, it's all based on who you surround yourself with, right? And if you're around experienced, positive, like grounded people in something that you're doing, like you're not going to really experience any of that drama. You're not going to experience, like, obviously your own drama, like shit's going to die, shit's going to escape, yada yada yada, but like they're going to be there to kind of give you that, you know, just that fucking support that you can't really get, you know. I will say, because of Instagram, because of this hobby and how the social media platform is now, you can get that kind of support. It's just not hands-on. It's not right there. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure like, let's take it back a little bit. How long have you been breeding snakes? How long has Bob's Balls been an actual brand?
So I bred my first set of ball pythons in 2009, 8 or 9. And then I started just like back when no one else had a Facebook page, right? Like a business page. Right. We started our business Facebook page in 2011. I think it's 11 or 12. I graduated college in 11, so that sounds right. Well, I can't go back and look anymore because Facebook kind of disabled my business page.
Wow. Why is that?
Apparently, when you sell animals, and let me give a shout out to Full Throttle, since she keeps whining about me.
Yeah, I got
YouTube. Wait,
yeah, Alyssa.
She's a YouTube celebrity, so I got to give her shout out. Boom. Yeah. But
she's hot. She's getting her shit's blowing up right now.
Right. I mean, she's got so many dang followers, and I'm trying to get her to come down here and do a video of my snake room for me and stuff. But we actually went into, like, I got into like serious breeding in 2012, 13 range, when I actually got a little bit of money. That's when I was doing insurance. I started doing insurance in 2013. I retired from that in 2016 and started doing snakes full time. So, and it's been good, man. It's been a blessing to be able to do snakes full time. It's been like the craziest ride ever, to go from a 1-bedroom. Like, I had a 1-bedroom where I would I'd have like 3 racks in there, right? And you take girls over and you're like, hey, you want to come check out my snakes? And you got that one little secret bedroom, right? And they come in there and you bring out your big ball python that's a 4-footer. Yeah. And into this, it's like, it's out of this world for sure.
It's crazy how it transitions into that. Like, I mean, like, I'm kind of on, I'm on some sort of a path like that. I don't have a room like yours or anything, but, you know, like 3 years ago, I kept a rack in my closet. Like, that's where I kept my snakes. Like, I kept like a 6-rack fucking 32 quart fucking tubs in my closet. And then as soon as I moved out and things just started landing on my lap, now I have like my own little separation, my own little fucking, it's like literally my own room. And trust me, now I have my room. I just have multiple rooms now. And it's like you say, I just sit back and I look how, like, fuck, it's crazy how this shit happened. You know what I mean? Like, it just, things just like, I don't know. I feel like when you really have a niche for something in life and you're really meant to do something, things just happen to, like, fucking just, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Bob, I guarantee there's a lot of things that just happen to go your way and you're like, fuck, this is like, I'm getting really good momentum. What am I going to do? Like, you're just, obviously it's like, hey, just keep going down the path. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. That's how it's been for me, man. I'm blessed. I'm super blessed. This show, for instance, how this show fucking just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually getting people like you on and stuff and talking to people like you. So I know what you mean by that, man. But what made you want to turn this into a business? Like, who was your influence? Like, who were the people, or who was the person that made you be like, fuck, I could actually put these 2 snakes together and actually do more of it, and, you know, give you that mentality of expansion?
Right. So in 2000, and this is a guy that's not mentioned very often, and I feel like he should be mentioned more because he's kind of one of the original guys. Where I was at a Repticon. Oh, yeah, Albie Show for sure. I was at actually, when I was 17, I went to Albie Show's house. I actually drove to Atlanta and Googled reptile shops near me, and I went to Albie Show's house, and he sold me a leopard gecko. Okay, 1 leopard gecko for $75. And I was looking at his house, and he welcomed me in. He said, come on in. He was showing me all these ball python morphs. He showed me the first piebald I ever seen in my life, on yellow bellies and all this stuff.
What year was this? What year was this when he was showing you all this stuff?
let me see. I was 17, so holy shit. This was 2006,
5, 6,
7,
6.
right? Something like that. 2006, I'll say. Because I was in high school, right? So I was like, so I left Albie's house thinking, holy shit, this guy, all he does is breed snakes and sit at home and hangs out. This is amazing. So in 2009, I went to a Repticon. Oh my God. So Adam Chelsea, he doesn't get a recognition enough, I feel like, anyways. So I went to his table and he was showing me a pewter ball python, pastel cinnamon, right? He was showing me this pewter and he was explaining to me marketing and selling. He was like, if you bred this pewter to this, you'll make a bunch of cinnamon, some pastels, some pewters. And he was telling me, he's like, this is going to sell for $500 all day. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, this guy knows what he's talking about. And I asked Adam, I was like, so what do you do for a living? Because he was at the show. And he's like, that's all I do. I sell snakes. And really, I thought in my head, dang, I'm going to be like this guy. And in 2016, well, early 16, late 15, I did a Repticon with my buddy Phil McCormick. And I was vending the show. And I come back from the show. And Mary, at the time, my girlfriend Mary, now my wife, we're sitting down talking. And she's like, how much money did you make? And I said, I had a really good show. I did $6,000 at the show. And she goes, you made $6,000 this weekend? I said, well, that was Saturday. Like, all right, this is Saturday night. And she goes, if you made $6,000 this weekend and you have a meeting on Monday that you're dreading, because I was dreading talking to my boss every Monday. And I had a meeting I was dreading, and she goes, you made $6,000 this Saturday and you're dreading a meeting. Why? And I was like, I really didn't understand it. Literally that coming Monday, I went in and told them I'm quitting and I'm going to be a full-time snake breeder. And they lost their minds because I was a very good agent. I was a very good salesman. And they were like, you're going to do what? And I was explaining to them genetics and all this. I'm like, well, I'm going to breed snakes for a living. And after that show, Mary was like, if you focus 100% of your time on this instead of going to do insurance 80 hours a week, you would be way more successful. So in 16, I quit my job. We focused on expanding. I went from using 2 of our bedrooms for snakes, and then we went to build a snake room behind my house. I went with a 12 by 40 wooden room. And I was like, 12 by 40 is a ton of space. You're never going to fill 12 by 40. So within about 8 months, I filled up the 12 by 40, and I told her I need more room. I just need another building. And she was like, we're not pulling in another shed. That's outrageous. So
Mary, you said, right? Mary's her name?
Yeah. Right.
What does your wife do for a living?
She's a nurse. She has a real job.
Player. But still, bro, like honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. God damn it. The girl I'm with has her own job, makes her own fucking money, and she told me from the get-go. I remember there was nights I couldn't sleep, and the ball pythons is what got me out of a fucking life of just toxic of like partying and shit. And I was going down a bad route. So when all that left, I would just stay up fucking just staring over ball pythons, but I would just be fucking sulking over $400 or $500 snakes. Cause I'm like, I'm never going to drop money on that snake, like in my head, and she would just wake up and be like, yo, what are you looking at? And I'm like, I wish I could get this, She's like, well, do you want me to buy it for you? Or do you just don't want to buy it? And I told her, I was like, that's just a lot of money to drop. And she's like, well, what's stopping you? And she basically told me, she's like, just live your fucking life. If that's what you want to do, just do it. Don't, she's like, got to spend money to make money type of thing. And she just gave me that insight and that push, because all the other girls before basically relied on me for money and all this other fucking horse shit. So, I don't know. It was just kind of like, when you have a girl like that who's already a boss and she's like, like, look, you can make that happen. I make this happen. It's just, anyways, keep going. I thought that was sick.
Yeah. So actually talking about investments, like people always look at this room. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. Is there an option to?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Let me see. Ooh, no, don't want to edit that. Cam. Oh, don't do that. Anyway, so I'll just walk around. So talk about the investment side, right? People are like, oh, that room, I need to get something like that. I'm like, you really don't. Like, this room is just built for looks. If you're going to build it for efficiency, this room's good for it too. Like, obviously stuff like this, like having a water reel. Let me see here. Having a water reel is like really important. But these racks, and I tell people all the time, it's such a good investment. You're gonna go sell a $2,000 snake, and then you're gonna put it in a $50 wooden rack. It doesn't make any sense to me. Each one of these racks have 65 holes, right? So you got 65 animals in here. If you know your average of what you're producing, so on average, most ball pythons sell for about $300 to $350 on average. If you look at Morph Market, it's going to average about $300, $350. You got 65 animals in a rack, and you're going to throw it in a $200 rack, or you're going to throw it on a $20 thermostat you bought on eBay. Like, it doesn't make sense. Go get real thermostats, go get real racks, and that's where your investment is. Like, people are buying $10,000 snakes and throwing them in a $200 rack. That I don't understand any of that, but yeah, she told me, like, when I was looking at racks, she was like, why don't you just get one of those professional racks? And I was like, God, they're $2,000. And she's like, didn't you just sell a snake for $2,000? I'm like, yeah, but you know, and that's when I started getting real racks, and now we're I don't know how many racks we got in here, probably 20 something racks. So, and
what kind of racks are those?
These are all ARS. I go with 100% ARS. I know you're a freedom breeder guy. I've talked to Jesse. He's a good guy. 16, like, well, there's a lot of racks in here. And then I have my other buildings, like 26 racks. So, yeah, we're racks all the way around.
That's super dreamy, man. Those are heavy goals right there, man. Now
wait a minute. She's doing the pizza dance.
Is that your wife?
No, it is not my wife.
Oh, she's a pizza girl. She's just dropping off pizza.
Yeah, this is the pizza girl dropping off pizzas. Damn. I told her to go straight down to the snake room.
They don't wear masks?
No mask here. We're in Georgia, man. No mask rules here.
That's it.
Ryan's upstairs.
It was kind of 50% no mask, 50% mask in Texas. I noticed when we went in deeper into like little towns, like we went to the fucking barbecue place, like nobody was wearing a mask. But then, like, you know, in the bigger areas like Arlington cities and shit, people were like more kind of strict about wearing masks. So Texas was like kind of there, but not there when it came to the mask. I don't know. But Georgia's super like laid back, or what's up with Georgia right now?
Some stores require it, and I know the show this weekend in Atlanta is going to require it. Huge shout out to Mickey. Do you know Mickey? He does the Show Me Reptile show.
No. What's it called? Show Me?
Yeah, the Show Me show. So he does mostly the Central and East Coast. So he did the first Nashville show this past weekend, and I vended that. And it was no mask rules because of Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't have a mask rule, I think. But when we're at the show, there's no mask. When we were at the bar, there was no mask. But when you drive into Nashville, then some places require. So I think it's just based on the city itself.
Okay. How are you? I mean, well, obviously now that, you know, the ball python's your full-time gig. So, I mean, I would say you did pretty well this year with selling your snakes. I mean, because things were fucking booming from what I heard on Morph Market and stuff. But
this is our biggest year. I think everyone should have had a record year. I feel like sales were really good in my biggest month this year would have been end of April towards May. I think that was my biggest month.
Yeah,
a lot of $1,200 sales.
How many clutches are you looking at this year?
We're gonna go close to 250. If I get to 250, I'll be super happy.
250, you are on a serious level, bro.
Yeah, 250, I'll be super happy. If I get to 220, that's gonna be like the rate at what we're gonna project. But if I get to 250, like we get the last 30 girls to go, I'll be super happy with the end of the year.
Fuck. So, I mean, do you have a crew that works? I mean, is that those guys kicking it with you right now? Is that like a team that you have working with you? Or, I mean, how do you maintain, how's the management work with Bob's Balls? I mean, that's a lot of snakes. So I want to know how that works.
Josh Quick, he's from Florida. He's literally up here just to hang out. Like, literally, we're just hanging. Like, I just have people just to hang out. No, I have a crew here. I have one full-time employee at my other building. I have one employee here, and we have 2 employees that breed our rats. Honestly, I need more people doing rats than I do in the snake room. Like,
now, is it because rat employees don't really last, or what's your problem with that?
There's just more work, man. I mean, a snake tub only needs to get like looked at once a week. Really, realistically, each snake needs to have eyes on them once or twice a week, feeding day and cleaning day, right? But rats, dude, I want someone to look at every single tub every single day. There could be a water leak, there could be a flood,
Yep.
Rats to be chewing through tubs or whatever. I want eyeballs on every tub every single day. Snake room, man, I come in here, I can take care of this whole room by myself. I don't wash any tubs though. That's my thing. I don't wash tubs. I have somebody for that. I can clean every single snake in here once a week myself, no problem. But the rat room, I don't want to do that.
You've been there. I mean, but you did put your licks in the beginning, right? I'm assuming you did.
Dude, I've cleaned 1,000 rat tubs, guaranteed, guarantee it. Yeah, maybe more than 1,000, probably more than 1,000.
I know what you mean by like you need to have someone who's like just as someone who's as passionate to work with the snakes, just as passionate with the rats, because you can maybe skip a tub and nothing fucking drastic will happen, but you can't skip a rat tub because like you said, a leak or just a chew out, anything could fuck up more than a day, could fuck up your whole week, could fuck up your month.
Right. Man, you get a rat that chews out of that tub and it goes chew up your water lines. That's a pain for the next 2 weeks, you know?
They could just do a lot. And honestly, I'm the best thing that's happened to me in this hobby is when I got rid of my rat racks and I got rid of that I just stopped, you know. Shout out to Cold Blooded Cafe. They're my sponsor. So they're able to fucking just put me on game, and you know, I got everything switched over to frozen thawed. Sometimes live is just easier for me. I don't have too many snakes. I'm definitely not at your level. I'm in like the, you know, 150s and shit. But, you know, for the most part, I don't give a fuck. I don't ever want to touch a fucking live rat bin. I don't want to have to change the bet. I don't ever want to do that ever again. I'm good. I mean, I'm not going to say I won't ever produce my own rats. I'm going to have someone else that's going to do that shit is what I'm trying to say.
And our goal here is so that we can make all the local breeders not have to deal with that. We sell about 3,000 rats a week.
Yeah. Damn. And then I'm sure that's helping you. Like that's helping your, okay, let's talk about that. So that income you make off the rats, how much is that like, is that going into more of the rats or is it going majority into your snake projects? Because I mean, how many rats did you say you're selling a week?
About 3,000. So I have a business partner that does all the rats. Really, we only started doing the rats because we didn't have anyone dependable enough to provide us with rats around here. And I run through, let me see, between this collection and my other building, we run probably about 600 rats a week. And then we run 400 or 500 mice a week that we need. I had people providing it. And of course, every single few weeks, they're going to be like, well, we don't have enough of stuff. So we started breeding our own, and we're like, look, if we're going to have to pay an employee to sit out here and wash tubs, let's produce as many rats as we can and sell it. So we started selling. Every dollar we've made off of the rats so far, we're just using to expand more. Right, all my snakes are getting to eat for free. That's the best part. And I have rats every week. I have the good size every single week.
Yep. And exactly, dude, you just have the luxury of like, you know, oh, I want to go with this size. I'll go with this size. I mean, you can just do whatever the fuck you want, which is, I do miss that part. I really do. And I used to have ASFs too, which, you know, you can't have those in California. But
you can't have those in Georgia either.
Huh? You can't have those in Georgia either?
No.
Fuck, man, those things right there were just, they turned anything on in a fucking, you know, in the food way, as far as like getting them to eat. Like, God, man, I really miss having ASFs on deck. But, you know, either way, like you said, having rats at your leisure to where like, fuck, you know, a fucking picky eater who's just like, all of a sudden you're like, I want to try to feed it today, you know, toss that bad boy in. What do you do with your feeding regimen? Like you every week? I mean, you feed your ball pythons every week, right?
Yeah, we do every Monday. My feeding schedule it's fairly tight here. I do Monday to Tuesday. So basically everything gets adult-wise get fed on Monday. I check everything on babies-wise. And I want to tell new people this. A mouse that sits in there for 4 hours is not going to eat your snake. Okay, I don't know why people keep hearing this. A well-fed rodent is not going to go and chew and kill your snake. Stop fearing live feeding. It's so ridiculous.
Facts.
I've honestly forgot a mouse inside a tub before overnight. Never had a problem. If it's well fed and watered, it's not gonna attack your snake.
I don't push overnight, but I've done it overnight plenty of times. I've given literally, bro. Like even this morning, for instance, I fed about 20 fucking hatchlings, and 6 of them didn't eat, and I just said fuck it. I slept. I came back. As I looked, it had literally just wrapped. Like this one had wrapped the one I had left over overnight. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, they're not gonna fucking, you know, chill the fuck out, dude. You know
That's what I do with babies, by the way. For hatchlings, I always leave the mouse pup. I use a large fuzzy or a small hopper. I always leave it overnight, and 90% of the times they take that meal overnight. And literally, I've done this for I don't know the last 3,000 babies we've had here, and I've never had a snake get chewed up. So,
like, I'm not a mathematician or anything, but
yeah.
about 3,800.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's because one thing I'm starting to like. I don't know if this goes back to what we were talking about, where things just land in your lap and you get good things going your way. But I'm seeing things that are like kind of like, okay, there's a sign there, and that's like simple things as like, you know, leaving a hopper in overnight and keeping it a hopper every single time. Like anything that's worked for one hatchling, I keep that for all the other hatchlings. And then, you know, it's simply as, okay, cool. They smash a couple hoppers. Then you could put a rat pup in there. Then boom, they smash a rat pup. And then you could do a frozen thawed rat pup. It's like in simple steps you just go down in the beginning stages of the meeting. And they're fucking, you could get a snake to either eat live or frozen thawed, whatever the fuck you want to, you know, offer it if you stick to what works. And I think a lot of people just don't pay attention to what works. And they're just like, oh, wow, I got lucky there or something. But no, it's not luck. You just fucking stick to what works. That's it. And don't overthink. People overthink. I think you talking about the community you have, how much that helped you from overthinking? I mean, were there times where you probably could have fucked yourself in some situations and you were able to have some sort of mentorship, or talk about that a little bit for us?
So I have a group chat between myself and 4 other breeders that have been doing this way longer than I have. Frank Monroe being one of them, Frank Bird. He's bred for probably 8, 9 more years longer than I have.
Nice.
And literally, sometimes I'll message him and be like, hey, man, I have this weird female do this. I've had some weird situations, like a female will absorb and then develop like a month later, or just random stuff like that. And having those guys to message with their 100 years of experience or whatever, each of them been breeding 20, 30 years, random species too. You can just call one of them up and they'll help you with any of these situations. Yeah. And it helps me with expanding also, because I'm reverting back to my newbie stage where every reptile to me looks cool. And that was when I first started. And then I kind of focused so much on ball pythons for the next 10 years after that. Now I go to shows, dude. I'm looking at stuff like leaf-tail geckos, and I'm looking at I bought a pair of leaf-tail geckos, and I got knob-tail geckos, and all these, every species I need to have a pair of. But a lot of those guys, when I message them, I'm like, hey, should I get this? They'll be like, do not get that. And then some of them, oh god, they're terrible enablers too. They're like the worst ones. They'll be like, yeah, get a pair of those, and because if they can't keep them, they'll tell me to get them, and they know I will because I have the room. So, and I just get every species. But a lot of times I can fall back knowing I can get these weird species, and they can help me with it, because a lot of those guys, I have one buddy in there that used to work at a wholesale shop, so he's gone through every species. So he knows how to keep most of them, and what to get, what's not to get. And just to have all that knowledge, it's really good for new keepers to find some of these guys, to mentor them for sure.
Yeah, for reals. And like I said too, like if you can't find someone local to you, like I'm like, you know, I don't really, everyone local to me is either shady or just fucking I don't trust them. So, but there's a lot of people, a lot of opportunities you have on social media, like on the platforms here. That's why when you finally go to shows and put social media accounts to faces and shit, it's fucking even more impactful, you know. That's why you got to get out to shows once it's more once this damn COVID shit calms down. Arlington was pretty good though. I mean, it's pretty good size, you would say, huh?
Yeah, I was there with Josh, and he told me to vend it next time. I think I'm gonna make the drive. It's a 12-hour drive. I actually enjoyed the show a lot. The Texas crew is like super friendly. They took me in and took me out to go bull riding and all that. Yeah, super friendly crew out there. So,
how was it? How was riding the bull?
Dude, I went to the gym with Josh earlier. Dude, my ass still hurts. My lower back is still in pain. I understand 100% what Miguel and Harry was feeling, because they were telling me, like, they're like, dude, you're gonna be suffering, and dude, my ass was hurting for like so. And then I had a 4-hour flight back too, so that was really bad after ride.
That's rough. That's super rough. Yeah, man. I kind of that's one thing, you know, when Miguel and his crew went out there and did their bull ride thing. I mean, I'm a pretty fucking extreme guy, but I've done enough shit in my life where I've gotten hurt where I could easily look at something and say, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
Right.
There's so many things that could go wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's, you know, you just got to get lucky and have a good fall. But fuck, goddamn, there's just so many things that could go wrong. And I felt like I've gone away with enough stuff in my life where I'm not going to go out on a fucking bull. I feel like that's just not going to be me. But to each their own. I think it's amazing that you could at least fucking say I rode a bull. How long did you ride it for? I mean, how long did you ride it for?
I think if I slow down the video, it's like 5.5, almost 6 seconds. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Like when I was sitting on there, I'm like, dude, this got to be a 10-second ride. And you hop on, it just balances out. And when I landed, I legit, I'll tell you, I seriously thought I shit myself when I landed.
Damn. Yeah, dude. What was your heart like before that gate fucking pulled? Like, what was that like? You know, because that's the moment where you're like shitting bricks, right? Like when they tie your hand up and they're like, all right, you know what I mean? Like before that gate gets pulled open, or what was the biggest oh shit moment for you during that?
Well, I had gone up there and there was a 16-year-old kid coaching me, right? And he goes, and like legit cowboy. He's like in boots and everything. He goes,
oh my God.
You don't have boots? And I'm like, dude, I got sneakers. And he goes, no pants? And I'm like, I literally wear cargo shorts everywhere. And he goes, no helmets. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I just flew in from Georgia. So he actually let me borrow his vest, which I mean, he's like a extra medium. Like I was like squeezing into this vest.
You look,
I put this vest on, and that's when it hit me. I'm like, no, this is for real. Like, so I got on the bull, and I'm sweating so bad, dude. So I'm sweating like crazy. And they let this bull go.
Nighttime or daytime? What time was it during the day? Or
it's about almost 8 o'clock, so it's starting to get dark.
All right.
And so I get on the bull, and when I landed, I was sweating so bad already before that. When I landed, I was like, ooh, my ass is kind of wet. I'm like, I don't know if I shit myself or I'm bleeding. So I kind of just hobbled down to the gate, and I actually legit stuck my hand and checked, and I was like, thank God it's just wet. It's so much ass wet. I was like, it was rough, man. I don't know how them Texans do it, but it's rough.
How'd your boys do? Because you had other homies that did it with you, right?
Right. So the 3 other people went with me right after, Heidi, Maria, and they said it was rough because I think Maria went and it knocked the wind out of her, like literally, and her ride was like 3 seconds, and she landed flat on her back, knocked the wind out of her. Like for a first time ever rider, it's like it's you just have no idea what to expect, right? There's no one can explain to you what it is. And you're thinking, I'll just clench on as hard as I can. But it's like, you don't even know where to clench. Do I clench my legs? Do I clench my butt? Do I hold on to it real tight and tear my bicep? Like, I have no idea what to do. And you just kind of hope the bull kind of bucks the right way and you stay on there. But it was good. It was a good experience. And I really enjoyed the Texas crew taking us out. Mike Breezy drove me out there with his girlfriend, Emily. So it's like, it was a really good experience. Damn, this boy got some rice. Hey. No, you good. Eat it all.
Dude, wait, I thought you got chicken wings. You got chicken wings and the rice?
Well, he got rice and curry and all kind of stuff. Did you already eat these edibles? No. Oh, he eat half of it now.
What's the law? Can you smoke? Can you is it like recreational? Like recreational? Yeah. Do you need a Medi card, or how's it work?
Oh no, in Georgia, it's like you just don't tell nobody.
What if you get caught with it? Like, what if you get caught with like a gram of weed in your car? Like, do they give you a ticket or?
No, I feel like that's like a gram of weed. I think the cop just takes it and smokes it. Right. And then like if you get busted like with an ounce, I think they'll bust you for like intent to sell or something.
Will they lock you up, or they just give you a ticket to go to court?
I don't know. I don't think they'll lock you up for that. I don't think they'll lock you up for an ounce. I don't know. Is an ounce a felony? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't do drugs.
You just eat them.
Oh, yeah. You just eat the drugs.
So you prefer to eat edibles versus smoke weed?
I like to inject the devil's lettuce as much as possible.
as much as possible. See, I can't do edibles too much. I mean, I could if I hit it just right, because it's either not enough for me or I overdo it. You know, there's with edibles. You know.
No, eat it from like here.
Have you you ever been to a Pomona show? Like,
I'm gonna come out next year, man. I gotta come out to Pomona.
Hell yeah!
I gotta come out there. How far are you from there?
I'm like an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not far. I'm in San Diego, bro. So it's like I tell people who are just visiting Pomona or that area for the first time to wear like don't cut yourself short. You got to make a trip down to San Diego because that's where all the better food's at, the better beaches. It's just fucking cracking down here. Like San Diego's the shit. I'm telling you right now. But I'm only an hour and 30 some odd minutes away from Pomona. But Pomona's sick, bro. I think. Are you looking to come just to visit? Or are you looking to come to Ven?
Oh no, I'm coming to visit, man. That's like I don't know how long the drive. That's like 4-day drive or something. There's no way I'll make it.
Yeah. That's intense. That's too much.
Day and a half. It takes a day to get through Texas.
What's your border? Like, for instance, what's the furthest you'll go to Ven to show? Like, what's you just Midwest?
Atlanta. Yeah. No, the furthest I've actually traveled to Bend or intent to Bend was Tinley. That was 13 hours. But I don't travel that like every weekend to do. Like usually I like to stick within 4 to 5 hours.
So, but like, okay, so Tinley, right? That was because I've heard just fucking traveling with animals, period, is pretty stressful. Is that right?
I don't want to travel with animals over 10 hours because for you to get to that show on time to set up and all that on Friday, you'd have to leave your house Thursday night, and you're thinking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then possibly Monday of animals with no water, no food. They don't care. It's snakes, but no water. Tinley is in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So you're thinking the show is either in March or October, and Chicago's cold in March and October. I went both times, and it was snowing in March every time I've been there. So I really don't like taking my animals there when it's snowing.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's fucking. I mean, I'm not gonna. I can't really. It's a never say never type of thing, but I don't ever see myself vending just because of the stress. Just because I feel like I don't ever see myself just being glued to the fucking table the whole time. I'm definitely ADD fucking. Just take off when I want type of person. So and then on the other end of that, would never really trust, unless it's my wife. I really wouldn't trust anyone to be around my table selling the shit. You know what I mean? So
oh no, if you ask anybody when I've been a show, dude, you're gonna have to call me if you have a customer that's asking about snakes. I have a sales guy that comes with me and sells. Trev usually goes with me to the show. He'll sell all my snakes. He don't care. Especially in Tinley or in Daytona, dude, you're gonna be lucky if you catch me behind the table. I'm everywhere. I like to talk to people, and I like to hang out with other vendors. I don't like sitting behind the table, man. I spend money, buy random shit at auctions.
You're friends with somebody who's like, he's pretty big at these shows. Other than Matt, this guy's somebody I was like, man, I respect the fuck out of Bob for being homies with such a good looking and such a player individual.
Oh my God, it's my boo.
Yeah. Dave Levinson, man. How do you know this guy? Obviously through
yeah. Oh, me and Dave go way back. Well, I say way back. I don't know, but damn, is that a shirt with me on it? Damn, Bob.
That is, yeah. That is pretty clear.
Self-promoting.
The thumbnails on your shirt.
Yeah, but so me and Dave met, I don't know, however many years ago at a show, and we just click, man. We talk almost daily, just about random stuff, and most of the time it's not even about snakes. We just talk. Market. We'll talk about the market. He knows I'm a ball python guy. And if he's taking care of a huge collection right now.
Yeah, he is.
And it's so much work, and I don't know how he does it. So much work, so much stress. And he somehow he finds the time to go herping and all that. Actually, last weekend we ended together in Nashville. We went bowling and just a bunch of random stuff, man. I love Dave.
I would love to herp with that guy, man. I also got to meet him for the first time at Arlington. And I think what was Saturday? It was right after he got back from Six Flags. Did you go to Six Flags with him too, or were you part of that?
No, I didn't go to Six Flags. I was super. I was super tired from the night before, so we didn't make it to Six Flags.
You could say, yeah, dude. I I was murdered that Sunday after meeting Saturday night.
Yeah, I'll eat it. Yeah, I'll eat it later. Yeah, put them upstairs. I'll eat it later. But no, we didn't go out Friday night because I think Miguel and his crew went out. But Friday night, I flew in so early. I was so tired. I probably think like 10 o'clock, me and Steve went to bed. And then Saturday night, we went out, watched the Lakers game, and then we decided we want to go celebrate. And we stayed out like way too late. And I know Dave and Chad went to Six Flags. And I was going to go, dude, but they told me like the line was like an hour per ride. And I'm like, dude, I'm not about that life.
That's kind of like, I mean, the Six Flags in fucking LA is kind of like, shit, you'd be lucky to get a ride, like a legit ass ride, like the Superman or something. An hour is like pretty fast. Other than that, it's always like fucking 90 minutes or something stupid.
Disney's empty right now, I think. So
is it shut down though? It's not empty. It's meaning it's closed, right?
No, Disney reopened, man. Florida don't give a fuck. Like Florida just open. They don't care.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, you got to consider also Disney employs like 5,000 employees, man. You can't shut down for that long.
Oh shit.
Probably more than that. Yeah, there more than that.
And Disney employees, like that's their life. It's their lifestyle. Like that's
right.
Pretty much their character when they go home. That's all they know.
Yeah, they don't break character. They're legit. That's
yeah.
They get in their car, like literally Disney. When they clock out, they get in their car, like ladies and gentlemen, hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We're getting ready to roll. Like damn.
with that perky voice, like you know how they're literally
always fucking happy.
Yeah. So let's talk about your projects real quick, Bob. So you're obviously you got a shit ton of fucking heat, man. Like I don't know, it's kind of I want to say it's kind of all over the place, but what are some things that you're working with that are pretty special to you right now? Like I'm obviously all ball python morphs matter, but really what are the ones that you have that you're really like extra excited about?
Yeah, don't say all ball python morphs matter, because apparently I posted like a gray matter post the other day and got a lot of heat about that. But
what do you mean a gray matter? Like it was like that's the actual snake?
Gray matter is a super cinnamon champagne, right? Mm-hmm. As they call it, a gray matter, because it's all gray and white. I had a buddy brought over a clutch of gray matters that were all hypos, lessers, yellow bellies, all kind of really cool stuff. So I made a live video, and I said, I think the title for the live video was like Gray Snakes Matter, something like that. Gray Matter Snakes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. The amount of hate. You know what?
Did you put Gray Lives Matter, or did you just put Grays? What did you put?
I put Gray Snakes Matter.
Okay. Wow. That's it?
Yeah, even worse. Apparently that's worse. But get this. The funniest thing is that I got hate from a black-only ball python breeders group. Like, you can only join if you're black, which I don't understand that either. I want to join that group. I bet you that group is lit. Like, that group is, I bet you, like they post some really fun stuff. But, man, like,
super dark.
Could you imagine if I made an Asian-only ball python breeders group? It would be me and Harrison Wang sharing memes the whole time. It's just me and him. Like, that's not fun.
Just enjoying it?
Right. We got 3 members.
Is your wife Asian too?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so is Harry's wife, so it would be you two and then your guys' wives, so there'll be 4.
Right. And Mary's like, she's not really into it. Like, she's not like she's not one of those like snake girls. I feel like I can use her way better, like in videos and stuff. Like, cause she's super attractive. Like, I'll be honest, I married up. Like, I should not be able to like pull a girl like that if I didn't have a lot of money. So I know that, so I should be able to use her for a lot of videos. Yeah, but she's not on board yet. Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, day by day, you never know.
Right. And you know, snake guys, if they see a video with a thumbnail with a girl holding a snake, they're gonna click on it. Like, I can get so many viewers with that.
What's wild is you'll see girls just start a new reptile account, you know, with their 4 noodles or whatever, right? And they'll have like 300 followers, but their pictures will have like 2,000, 3,000 likes. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just them looking depressed, staring at their snake or something. You know what I mean? And it's like,
and it's always this picture is like, check out my new snake. I wish I could do that. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start an account with that. Okay. That was between us.
Well, it seems like your wife's driven with numbers. So maybe if you show her what kind of money to expect by having her be more of a part of,
Right. We can get like 2,000 followers on YouTube. Women think, I don't know. I don't think that pays like $6 a month or something.
Yeah, dude. What's funny is like, oh man, I don't want to take nobody down, but there's people who like experienced fucking breeders who are starting YouTube accounts, and they're really, I don't know, they're putting persona like they're making good money off YouTube already, and I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I know you're not. You have 1,000 subscribers, and you average about 2,000, 3,000 views, and even if you're monetized, you're making like I think like 35 cents or something. You're not getting a fucking check off that. You know what I mean? But
right.
It's all about like, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a fucking like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it's legit. I really don't.
I talked to Billy the other day, and he was asking me why I don't have YouTube videos. Dude, I've had this YouTube account open for like 12 years, and I have 7 videos, and like 4 of them are like from 2003 or something. No, like, that doesn't make sense. That math doesn't add up. Right. Yeah. I have like legit. I have like, I think I have 7 or 8 videos, and 4 of them are workout videos. The other 3 are like, and he was like, yeah, he was watching one of my videos, and he goes, literally, one of your videos, you rolled out of bed and just started talking on video. There's 0 editing because I'm so lazy. I just record a video and post it. I don't do any editing. And I was like, yeah, we just that's why I think I'm gonna do more YouTube videos. This room was built for recording and pictures and stuff. Like, I use like literally the whitest, brightest lights you can get, just so I can do easier pictures.
Right.
Yeah, white lights. Jeez.
Yeah, because I mean, like, for instance, awesome snake, but this is just taken in the middle of your snake room, right?
Yeah, you come prepared, boy. But yeah, that picture is literally just me whipping a snake out and taking it with my cell phone.
Yeah. Let's talk about this snake. What's at play here?
So that is actually the hypo gray matter. That's a hypo super cinnamon champagne hypo. Nice. I think that's a yellow belly too. Yeah.
That thing is fucking ridiculous. Very, very fucking sick. What about this one?
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's from my Instagram page. Oh, this is all from my Instagram. I think we ended up keeping this one as a breeder. That's a super banana enchi calico. Ooh, I know I ended up keeping that male, so I gotta go look at his tub. But yeah, that's super banana enchi calico, I believe.
Nice. And you said that's a holdback, right?
Yeah, I ended up keeping back a lot of males this year. One thing I gotta tell people: if you're gonna breed on a high scale or a bigger scale, like if you're thinking you're gonna do 100 clutches, you're gonna need more males than you actually think. Some people are like, oh yeah, I'll keep 100 females and 10 males. Yeah, don't do that. You're gonna have one male where he's gonna be 1,000 grams. You're gonna throw him in there, and he's gonna sit in a corner for the next 6 months because he has no idea what he's doing. And then you need a backup male, and then his backup, because that guy is gonna breed 2 females and then dud out on you for the rest of the season. Yeah, right. Always have a backup to your backup.
True, very, very true. I'm starting to realize that this is my year 2 of breeding, and I'm always realizing like a couple times, or actually 2 clutches were saved because I was able to use the backup male, just in perfect timing because whatever reason that male wasn't fucking just over it, I guess. So, right. Yep, that's very, very awesome advice. I'm probably one of the biggest fans, or one of many things, but highway's my thing, bro. Like, I love highways, right? This highway right here is fucking probably one of the sickest highways I've seen, on so many different levels. I mean, highways come in so many different shapes and forms, but this right here, I've never seen a high. I mean, this definitely looks photoshopped. It looks like someone just started fucking with brown and like just started going through different shades of colors and just stopped here. But what was the pairing here? How did we make this, or how did you make this?
So we, my buddy, my business partner, ended up buying a gravel, calico gravel on an auction page. Okay, and I told him that's the dumbest animal ever to buy, and we ended up just throwing it on a few yellow belly combos this year. So that there is a gravel calico bred to a cinnamon fire yellow belly. Damn. And that is a cinnamon calico highway. And We made quite a few calico highway stuff this year. I'm gonna try to replace the dad. I really don't like using the highway as a replacement. I prefer like a super gravel. So I'm hoping I produce a super gravel calico combo that I can replace the dad with. I just like to be sure that everything comes out as gravel instead of gravel or yellow belly.
Right.
But I'm really impressed with the way Calico's doing for me this year. And you know what? With that cinnamon, I'm really impressed with cinnamon enchi stuff this year. And I think that's this year, or I mean, people have known it's been a lilac for a while. But this year, I made a lot of cinnamon enchi stuff. With those two genes being allelic, it reacts so strongly. Like I've made cinnamon enchi cypress stuff and cinnamon enchi highway stuff and cinnamon enchi clowns, and I've really been impressed with the way those two genes interact. It seems like almost every single allelic gene reacts so strong like that. So I'm pretty sure cypress red stripe is going to be allelic. The way those two react together is very strong. I've been really impressed with those combos that we're making. So chocolate and spot nose that Justin announced, right? That those two react really strongly. You know, it's strange. They found out chocolate and spot nose is allelic using a clown, but no one ever discovered that like before a visual clown was made, right? It's like,
That's weird. That's the fucking wild thing about this hobby. Like, you know what I mean? It takes just that to fucking figure something out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fucking sick. Now, I'm a huge GHI fan. I don't know if this is GHI, but this thing is a fucking trip. I like it. But let's talk about this.
So that doesn't have GHI in it.
Wild, is it? Okay,
right.
Tell me what this is.
Oh god, this is a controversy animal. So that is a cypress, hurricane, or trick, or blitz, whichever line you own.
Wow, I like it.
But that is a hurricane cypress.
That thing is sick.
All right, that one is, I think, in Korea right now.
Bro, all right. Let me talk to you about this. I mean, how much cypress stuff do you actually work with?
I work with a ton of cypress. We're expecting cypress clowns, cypress pieds, a lot of cypress hypo. Cypress hypo is one of my favorites. I made cypress hypo stuff, cypress lesser hypo stuff. Hopefully a cypress red stripe hypo. I think that's going to be super nice. Josh, what are you taking a picture of there, Josh? Oh, voodoo stuff. And so I think the cypress, I think, has a big future. There was a step back when we made super cypresses and it wobbles, right?
Right.
And everyone was kind of shying back from it when we kind of announced that the super cypress wobbles. However, look at spot nose. Super spot nose wobbles like crazy, but people still use them and just avoid the super. Just don't make the super.
Right.
You know, so the cypress has a huge future. Cypress hypo. Miguel made the cypress spot nose clown. It is phenomenal.
That thing is
so. I'm really excited to make that this year. Cypress spot nose clowns, and some combos, you know, within that, because we have quite a few options of that. My stud male, I think I threw too many genes. My stud male is a cypress spot nose Mojave cinnamon fire yellow belly head clown. So hopefully we'll be able to ID his babies. And I really think this next year cypress and bongo are going to be huge genes.
Nice. So that's your prediction on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this one real quick, because I love the dark shit. Like that's my passion right there. That's why I'm into the GHI stuff pretty heavily, like the super GHI stuff. But what is this? What are we working here? What's
actually that is, believe it or not, that's just two genes. Well, one gene is a super one. It's a super gravel. That's it. So because you're a highway guy, so that's just super gravel. And I have a clutch hatching in like 3 days, and I'm hoping to hit super orange stream super gravels because that's such a powerful animal. And the super gravel itself held value for so long. I remember it was 2017. We bought our first super gravel for like $4,000. You would think 3 years later they'd be down to 2,000 or they'd be $1,000 by now, right? 3 years on a gene that's a codom, it should have tanked. And it's a codom, it should be easy to make. You're gonna just breed it to a ton of ivories and make highways.
Yeah.
But it's actually held value very strong. This year they're still going for $2,500, $2,800, and they're selling at that. So that's a super strong animal for anyone to get at super gravels.
You know who's supposed to be sending me a super gravel since 2018? Hasn't done it yet.
Who's that?
He's Mexican. Take a wild guess. Spends a lot of money at auctions. Anyways, we'll move forward from that. How's those chicken wings? Where are they from?
Where do we get these chicken wings from?
Are they mainstream?
Papa John's.
Papa John's? They're mainstream.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I do fuck with Papa John's pretty heavily if it comes to commercial, like mainstream pizza, Papa John's is where it's at. So respect.
Hey, speaking of Miguel, did you record us auction? You know, speaking of Miguel spending a lot of money at the auction, I think he only spent $500 in Arlington. That's his record, man.
To be honest, I mean, but wasn't that auction a lot shorter than how they typically are? Because that was kind of, am I confused or was it cut short? Because
there wasn't a lot of donation items, I feel, and I ended up with the biggest tab that night for some reason. I don't know how. I only had like 4 drinks, and somehow I ended up with the biggest tab. Usually it's Miguel. I was trying to stick some items on Miguel. I was trying to bid against him on some stuff, and I'm like, damn, I think he's gonna stick me with it. So I ended up stop bidding.
Yeah, you went head to head. You guys went head to head on JT's memorial thing. You ended up winning that, right?
Yeah. I just gave it to JT. There's no reason for me to take it back to Georgia.
Right. So you guys went head to head on that. That was probably the biggest thing you guys went head to head on, right? Was that
right?
It was like
right. And I don't feel like usually at those auctions there'll be like 5 or 6 items that go for like $2,000-$3,000,
right.
And there wasn't anything else that went for big money. I don't think.
Right. Wild. I don't know. Who knows? We'll hopefully we'll blame it on COVID, and we can just.
When is the next biggest auction, you think?
I'm okay. So the next biggest show, since Tinley's not happening, I'm thinking Pomona. Pomona's January. So I don't know, unless there's something else that happens in December, which I don't recall anything huge.
Oh, there is. I'm going to go ahead and announce it and try to promote it a little bit. It's going to be a show in Tampa. It's a Repticon. It's not an NARBC, but I believe USARK Florida is going to throw a huge auction. I'm not from Florida. Oh, I am from Florida, but I'm not there. But I'm going to attend and try to help them raise some money because Florida is, it's a shitstorm down there. There's animals everywhere. But they're going to try to fight the state against some of these laws that are, the last one was deemed unconstitutional. The last one was just going to ban all iguanas, tegus, and some large snakes. And they ended up winning that lawsuit. It cost a ton of money. So these auctions are going to help raise that money. If you go to these Florida shows, the auctions, the 50-50 raffles, they let you take pictures with the piebald alligator and stuff like that. And that's just to raise money for that lawsuit. And people are like, well, I don't live in Florida. I don't care. Well, they attacked Alabama recently, South Carolina recently. So it's creeping around. They're like, hey, look, if we can do it in Florida and take away all your animals, we can do it in other states too. And if we can take away your retics, we'll go for your boas next, and then we'll go for your ball pythons next. So we do what we can.
It's a scary thing, but it's also something that can't be ignored. Like it's kind of like keeping your fucking snakes healthy with fresh water. That the same shit should go into fucking focusing on what we need to do to keep keeping our animals safe. You know what I mean? There's obviously a lot of avenues we can take, and places we can donate to make sure that we're doing what we got to do. But it definitely takes like everyone to do it. Like everyone needs to fucking pick up and handle their shit if they're going to be a part of this community, I think.
And it's weird because hear me out. So I go to these shows, right? These guys are making 200, 300 grand a year, breeding snakes and not putting anything back into the hobby. I go to these auctions, right? And Miguel has been in the industry literally for like 4 years. The first year Miguel's in the hobby, he goes to the auction and drops like 10, 20 grand, right? Yeah. Towards USARK. I mean, this guy literally has no skin in the game at the time, right? He's not selling any snakes. He has no skin in the game, and he just dumps money into it. I go to these auctions, and because the reptile industry has done so much for me, right? It's provided me with all of this and a super hot wife. I'm going to donate as much money as I possibly can to keep it going. And I'm seeing these guys make $1 million a year or whatever. And then you go to these auctions, they don't donate anything. They don't even go to the auctions. They don't donate to USARK. I'm like, and I've talked to USARK. The amount of people who actually donate to USARK when they ship animals is very slim. You're talking about 1% or less. Did you know when you ship an animal, there's a small button on the bottom left that says donate to a charity, and literally the drop box only has USARK. That's your only option.
And you can put any amount. You can put any amount.
Right, $1. You can put $1 per shipment, and literally, they tell me it's less than 1% of shippers will donate to USARK.
That's wild.
Yeah, you're shipping a snake literally that you produce out of your house in your basement for $500, but you can't pay $1 to keep the industry going. It's nuts, but again, part of business.
Yeah, but I feel like people who are really about this shit eventually open their eyes and they do contribute. Like it took, like it finally. I've been in this hobby for 3 years, and I just started donating this year because the people I started surrounding myself, they drove it in my mind. Like, yo, this is a huge part. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean?
Right. That picture you showed earlier with me and the Panda crew, really, we go down to Daytona, dress up in our Panda suits, and bid on pretty much every other item. I don't really care what item it is. We're bidding on it. It's like I think one year we won like a 6-foot gummy bear snake or something, and the staff. Thank goodness somebody else won the staff this year. I did not want to explain to Mary why I paid $3,000 for the staff again.
Dude,
we've taken it home 2 times. It's enough.
It's funny you mentioned how Miguel was like dropping all this loot in the beginning, because I remember going to an auction. I think it was probably my first Pomona show where I was kicking it at his table, and he spent 3 racks on some fluffy pink fucking slip-on slipper. Like it was like these huge fucking ridiculous. I think they lit up. There was lights on him or something, but he dropped like 3 racks on them. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck? And that was like one of my first moments of like, what is going on? And that's when I also knew. I was like, damn, this fool, he's in this in a different way. Like he's doing this longevity. Every move he makes is a longevity move. You know, he's not.
Right. I mean, he's built a reputation for himself, and he has a lot of haters because people are like, oh, he needs to spend time and build his collection. I'm like, dude, I wish there was 100 Miguels. Every one of his videos hypes up the industry. He spends a ton of money with everybody. I invited him out to Atlanta to our auction. I hold an annual auction in Atlanta for USARK. We did $26,000 last year. That's and awesome. A large portion of that is because Miguel was there bidding everything up, you know. And that's why we invite him out there, so he can help get people out there, help get people excited. He posted a video that he was going to Atlanta. We had out-of-state guys come in from Carolinas, Arkansas, just to meet him and go to my auction and buy stuff.
Well, I want to go. When's this auction? When does it happen?
I'm gonna do it again in April. It's gonna be every year in April. I'm gonna get you out here to do some videos and use your celebrityness to get people hyped up.
The people I bring on are their celebrities. I'm just here. I'm just the plug. I'm just here to fucking, these are my friends type of things. But I've been telling this to people, like, because of this podcast and obviously, the people I'm associated with, I want to fucking, any opportunity I get, Bob, I want to go and visit people. I want to go, I don't got as much money as Miguel, but I got something, you know what I mean? I do want to contribute. I do want to help out as much as I can. So I would love to be a part of that auction in April, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you the info for that. And then just come out here. I live 30 minutes away from the show, man. We'll come kick it at the house, save you some money, spend it at the auction.
Yeah. What's up with we're going to get some wings, or what are we going to eat? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm a noodles guy, but if you come down here, we get noodles.
Ramen or pho?
Both, brother. We're going to get both every weekend.
But what if you had to choose? Would you do ramen, or I probably should have saved this for the fucking hot seat question? But if you had to choose, would you do ramen or pho?
Pho all day. I'll eat pho twice a week, every week, guarantee it.
How big do you get? The good size bowl? Because there's 2 bowls. There's regular and large.
There's 2
large?
bowls. Right. Yeah. So it depends on the day, right? If I'm gonna go work out towards the end of the day, I'm gonna eat the small bowl. The big bowl is a lot of freaking broth, man. It's a lot of noodles.
Yeah, it is. Man, I don't know why. I'm not really a soup. I'm not like a broth soup guy because I'm always hot. I'm always sweaty, and like that thing gonna help my humidity status or where the fuck's going on with me. But I do fuck with pho. Pho's bomb. You know what I mean? And I just can't. You know what
For
I mean?
all my viewers out there, if you have not had pho before, right? I don't know how many people are watching. If you've not had it before,
In case they don't know how it's spelled, it's pho. People probably think it's pho, but that's how you spell pho. That's called pho. It's bomb.
right? All you got to do is Google pho near me, and then it's literally gonna bring up a Vietnamese shop right near you. And literally, when you go there, just order that in the special. Just say that was the special, and then they'll bring you out a bowl about the size of a small child, and that's what you get.
And more than likely, a pho joint will have wings. You could get wings there too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's like getting fried rice at an authentic Chinese restaurant and ordering fried rice.
Wait, so that's not over here. You could do that. You don't do that in Georgia?
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
I've never had chicken wings at a Vietnamese restaurant before in my life.
Oh man, they're called garlic and peppered wings here, and they're actual they're deep fried chicken wings with garlic and they're that chili pepper that you could get as a side and
Okay, I can yeah. But I'm a wing guy. Literally, I can eat chicken wings anytime. Like 10 o'clock at night, I'll take wings. I don't care.
Getting hungry now. So let's talk about you. How many times have you been to California at all? Like, have you not just for shows, but period? Have you ever been to California?
I've been to California one time for my aunt's wedding. That's it.
And how long ago was that?
2000 and oh my God, I had long hair at the time. 2015. Yes. Oh no, 16. Yeah, I had long hair at the time.
2015. Damn. So it's been a minute. You need to come out. You're definitely due to come out to Cali. For the
oh shit, that's it. 15. 2005. God, I'm old.
Damn. 2005.
Yeah.
That was when Crunk Juice music was still cracking.
I had hair down to my lower back.
Yeah, damn. So you were super like
yeah, I was like Shanghai Noon hair. Like this was legit.
You're like fucking Jackie Chan's son and your nephew or some shit, something wild. That's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, it's been years. So Pomona, right? January, we're gonna try to make it happen.
January, and then I'll roll out to you I'll roll out to you in April. And then you do the Texas shows. So Arlington, you go to every Arlington show, like even the one in February?
Yeah, I'm gonna be vending that one.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Because I can't get enough of Texas, bro, other than their Tex-Mex, which is shit.
I don't know how the weather is in February, but I really loved it this past show. I mean, the weather was about perfect the whole time.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. It was sunny. I kind of wish I would have went to the water park. The water park next to the show looked cracking. It looked pretty fun.
Yeah, give me about 4 more months to work out, and I'll go to the water park.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, I don't really give a fuck what I look like. I would have just fucking made some people's day look bad, but it did look like a lot of fun. I'll tell you that much. I might have to check that out next time. So February, Texas weather in February is still pretty cool, isn't it?
I was saying, I mean, Texas is a hot state anyway.
But their heat usually comes back. If anyone could comment this, when is it? Okay, Jose, when does it start getting hot in Texas after your winter? I'm pretty sure it's February, March. But either way, February is going to be a little cool, but not bad. Oh, Jared, what up? Yeah,
little cool, but not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Jared know? Like, what the fuck? Like,
what's up with this girl? Okay, hey, Alyssa, he wore your shirt. You happy?
Wow. 10% discount this weekend at her table.
I got a snake off her, and she sent me a shirt, and I already stained it, but still, I enjoyed wearing it. It was a really epic shirt.
What is happening over there? But no, I'm going to be vending. Are you coming out to Tinley in March?
Yes. Next time Tinley's, I'm going out to that area sometime or are we already in October? So at the end of this month, I'll be in that area. I'm going to Michigan and I'm going to Detroit. So I'll be in that area, but obviously there's no Tinley going on this month. So yeah, March. I'll be there March for sure. Are you going to?
So they had like a small discussion of a Tinley November. And then that got scrapped. And then someone told me that Tinley March might not even happen, that they're going to move all the vendors over to St. Louis.
Wow.
I think they're going to kill off that show, honestly.
So you think Tinley's just going to be a bust? No more Tinley?
I honestly think so. I mean, you got to look at Tinley's location. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, 30 minutes away from the Chicago airport. And really, like, I don't like Chicago that much. I mean, Chicago's cool, but if it was in St. Louis, it seems like a more centralized location. And I think they're trying to do St. Louis twice a year, basically close to the same time as Tinley. So I think it's 2 weeks before Tinley. I literally think it's going to replace Tinley.
Damn, that's pretty depressing. I never got to see Tinley if that's the case. The day or the time I was supposed to go to Tinley was the fucking last March when COVID came. That happened. I was supposed
to go?
Yeah, I was there. Well, I went and then okay, so I went and then I was like, talking to Miguel and I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man, Tinley's not going on. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? And he flew me out to Detroit to go hang out with him and Barcheck. And so I ended up that ended up being my week and was hanging out with him and Barcheck. But I didn't go to the hotels. I guess there was an underground Tinley and shit where people were kicking in hotels and stuff. So I didn't get to go to that, or I didn't go to that. And that's when I was supposed to first meet David Levinson and stuff. I was actually, because Forrest passed away, and that's when me and David actually became like homies and shit, started talking. So I was actually supposed to meet him in March, and then that's what happened. So I'm definitely gonna go in March this coming
right.
March.
So I actually drove up for that show. Steve was almost at my house by the time Tinley got canceled. I drove up there and set up. Tinley's still gonna happen. Man, the fuck is Jared? No, Jesus, Jared. But so I drove up to Tinley anyways to hang out, and there was so many vendors that literally set up in their hotel rooms, and we're literally just going room to room, hanging out. Like Brock Wagner was up there, Chad Hoker was up there, Justin was up there. I mean, literally, guys were just set up, and we're just hanging out, buying snakes, selling snakes. I think I bought like 100 geckos for no reason. It was a fun show.
Yeah, I've heard, when Tinley was in its prime, or just, even Tinley in the last few years was just so epic. I've heard so many great stories, like, and it's just about the vibe, like, I don't know, just, I don't know, sucks, man. Oh well, but obviously,
Tinley is totally different animal, man. That show never really died down. Like if you go to Daytona now, and then you compare, well, especially COVID made it worse. But let's say you went to Daytona last year, and you compare Daytona last year to like Daytona 2009, 2008, where you're like shoulder to shoulder. There's like 1,000 vendors there. That it's a totally different feel. But Tinley never really shrunk. It's a great show, honestly, if they can keep it going.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be sick. I feel like Tinley is definitely one of the like pinnacles of shows. Like that's like if you kind of have to hit a Tinley up if you ever, period. It's just kind of like it's the fucking, what is it? I can't even think of a fucking name. What is it? Like not the capital, but
Mecca.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck, I'm high. All right. Well, listen, there's other things you produce other than ball pythons or you keep, but I also keep boas. You fuck with some boas. Is that right?
Yeah, I keep a few boas. I have sand boas, Central American red tails, regular red tails, just random stuff.
Now, how do you like working with those? Like, let's talk a little bit about those because I'm kind of green that area. I'm looking to pair some boas up this year and for the first time and whatnot. I don't know what you're.
I'm super green too, honestly. I've had boas for like 5 years. Literally just kept them, and this year I'm finally told Dave, I'm like, I'm ready to breed them. What do I do? I've had them for 5 years. So we'll be experiencing this together. I've only produced my first litter of sand boas last year, and I've kept those for 4 years, 3-4 years now. So I'm super green, man.
If PETA was like, all right, you guys have to give us one species of a snake and we'll leave you alone, I would say, here, take the sand boas. Those things are fucking ugly, bro. I'm sorry, they're so ugly. They're fucking.
If I had to give up one species of snakes, and it has to be just be snakes, I'm gonna go ahead and give up.
Don't say it.
Oh boy, this is tough. You know what? Oh, these guys are gonna hate me. I'm giving up retics, bro.
What? Oh my!
I'm giving up retics.
Oh no way!
Yeah, come on. Giving up retics.
That's just that you're just saying that because I said sand boas, bro. Come on.
No, I'm gonna go with retics, bro.
You're smiling.
Look, I'm not a PETA guy. I'm not a Humane Society guy, honestly, dude. But that's a lot of snake for an average keeper to keep. If I had to give one up, I'm saying screw it. Everyone can have a sand boa. No more retics.
Damn.
That's a lot of snake. It's a big snake.
That's just a lot of truth. It's just a lot of fucking okay. Cause here's where I'm at, Bob. I'm at a place where my fucking room is getting pretty like maxed out, you know, and it's all because I have retics. Like if it wasn't for retics, I would be fucking in a whole different position, right? But
Right.
I have these retics that I've had for the last 3.5 years, and I'm like, I had more. I had 12, and I fucking went down to 6 because I was like, I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm over it. I don't want to breed all these retics. If I do have a retic project, I'll do one pairing a year. That's it. But even with 6, I'm like, I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't know. And then my other buddy Andrew's like, bro, just get rid of them. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you shouldn't have retics. And I'm like,
so hear me out on this end, okay? I don't like government touching in on what we can keep, what we can't keep. But there's always a but. Okay, so I work with an animal sanctuary, and the amount of retics that get given up a year, a week, a month, people give those up, dude. Could you imagine if you're 18 years old, you go buy a normal retic at a show because Slithering tried to sell it to you because it's the friendliest snake in the world. So now you have this retic, right? You're some college kid. You keep it for 8 months or a year, and literally now you have a 7-foot snake. No big deal. You're now a sophomore in college, and you have an 18-foot retic. I don't know how big they get in 2 years. Honestly, I'm not a retic guy. Let's say 12 feet. We'll know it's 12 feet. Okay. Dude, old college kid at 19 years old is not feeding a 12-foot retic. And so he's going to go give it up to the Humane Society. He's going to go give it up to the zoo or whatever. Dude, the amount of animals that gets dropped off at the animal sanctuary a week is ridiculous. We get retics, bearded dragons, and sulcatas every week. Sulcatas are literally, I hate going to shows and seeing people sell sulcatas for $50. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. No one should buy a sulcata as their first reptile.
Or like a Nile monitor for $49.
Yeah. Iguana, Nile monitors, tegus. Don't get it as your first pet, please, or first reptile. Sulcatas are literally being given away from animal shelters and stuff like that because they can't house them. Yeah. And at some point, they're going to start putting all of them down. And it's starting to happen to retics. I get all the people who love retics. Look, I have had retics. I love them. They're great snakes. They have personality. It's not a ball python. I get it. But think about it from the animal shelter standpoint and how many people are actually abandoning these animals. People don't abandon ball pythons as much because it sits in a 20-gallon tank for them, and it lives in that. And you feed it a medium rat every week.
It's hard to kill a ball python. It really is.
Right. It's hard. But a retic, dude, once it gets to 10 feet, half these people are throwing them out. Hell, what do you think? What's happening in Florida is happening? You think one hurricane did all that? No. Come on, man. They found albino retics out there. They found all kind of animals because someone decided to buy a retic because it was a baby for $100, and now you got a 10-foot snake 2 years later. You know, so that's where my problem with retics really is. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care if it never get regulated, but if it does get regulated, I'm not gonna be mad. Damn, I ran forever with that. Jeez, it kind of hit personal.
You reminded me of Forrest right there, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, because that would go on some rant. He would go on rants I didn't want to hear, but it's like the truth. You know what I mean? And you nailed it, bro. You fucking nailed it. Don't calm down, everyone. I'm not getting rid of my retics. I'm just saying, like, you fucking nailed it.
No, I don't need people to get rid of their stuff, right? It sucks what's happening in Florida. That rule, like, you have to give up your tegus and stuff like that. My brother has a tegu and lives in Florida, and he's never gonna get rid. He's not giving that thing up. So it's like it is a tough situation. Do you want government to come in and ban all your stuff or not? And it's kind of a tough argument.
Yeah. I mean, so what's your take on the Burmeses then? Are you same thing with Burmese pythons?
I kept the Burmese when I was in college, and I gave it to my brother later on when I moved, because I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment. And I love Burmese pythons. They are the most chill animal as an adult. I don't know if it was just ours. There was puppy dog tame, and I love Burms. But that's a lot of snake too. You got to think that's easily a 15-foot, 17 feet snake, even if you're not feeding well. They don't stop growing. I've seen some huge Burms. Now, the difference here is there are berms breeding in Florida, right? They've already confirmed that there are ticks breeding in Florida. But to me, a berm, I don't know if a berm is as adaptive as a retic, and I don't know how much further north they can keep spreading, right? I went down to Lakeland, Florida, a few weeks ago. In an apartment complex, we pulled out 50 chameleons off the trees. So these reptiles, after a few years of being in Florida, they're starting to adapt and travel north. And how much further north before you think the federal government looks at it and goes, damn, that's an 18-foot snake we found in Georgia. And then 5 years later, that's an 18-foot snake we found in South Carolina or whatever it is. And how much longer do you think that'll keep lasting as people throw their retics out the windows until the government goes, all right, y'all can't keep snakes no more. It's not just a Florida thing. You guys just can't keep snakes. So I feel like that's where my stance is on berms and retics and sulcatas too, honestly. Is that there needs to be a little bit of regulation. I don't care. Get a permit, get a class 3, and then register your snake. If you have a class 3 in Florida, they know what you have. They literally do inspections and they know what you have. Does it suck? Sure, it sucks. I have to have inspection here every month, and they know what we have here on paperwork. And if I release my retic or berm here, they'll know about it. And I think people need to be held accountable if they're going to release large animals like that.
Is it just me, or I feel like the retic market is fucking just tanked. Like, I feel like it's hard to actually sell retic morphs at what they should be worth. Like, I feel like everything's like discounted down. Like
100%. I went to the show this past weekend. I've talked to a few retic breeders. I mean, they need to be. I hate both sides of it. Okay, if you sell a retic too cheap, everyone's gonna buy it, right? Albino retic is one of the most beautiful animals I've ever seen as an adult, because it gets better as it ages. But if you can get an albino reticulated python for $150, $200, whatever the price, people are gonna buy it. And the problem with that is then stupid people who don't need to keep large snakes like that are gonna buy it. It's like just like the gun talk, right? If guns are cheap, people who shouldn't own guns buy guns. So with more people owning retics and berms, there's a higher rate of people releasing them or not taking care of them, throwing them away, and trying to give them off to shelters. Because how many retics do they produce a year? There's a lot. So where are these retics going? But
that's why I don't know how these big breeders are doing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of shady. And I will say, I'm obviously not going to say the place I visited, but I went to visit a pretty well-known fucking big retic breeder, and it was pretty horrific. It's pretty behind the camera. It's pretty horrific what I fucking witnessed, because I saw how many animals he had and the amount of clutches. So it crossed my mind, where the fuck do these retic, like the things that he aren't selling year after year, and they're just piling up, where do they go?
Right. And a 1-year-old retic,
it gets pretty big. Yes,
a 1-year-old ball python, because I couldn't sell it last year, is
not gonna take it. It could be in the same bin.
Right. I mean, it's 800 grams, 700 grams. If you're feeding light, it could be 500 grams. A 1-year-old retic, you're talking in feet. You're not taking in grams anymore because you're not weighing that animal. So I'm wondering, like there's guys. I mean, I talked to a guy here. Well, he's not in Georgia. He's in the Carolinas, and they were talking about how many hundreds of clutches they're producing, and I'm like, hundreds of clutches of retics? I mean, these things are not averaging, like 7, like a ball python. And so I honestly don't know if they're freezing them, feeding them to cobras, shipping them overseas. But how many people are buying retics as pets? I don't know. Because ball python market, you already know the bulk of the ball python market, probably 60-70% or higher, are pets. They're being sold as pets. We're selling blue-eyed Lucy's as pets. Pies are pets. Albinos are pets. How many retic pets are sold a year? And then if I want to know how many you produce, sold, and then how many people actually keep them past year 2.
No way of tracking it. You can't. It's impossible.
That would be an interesting number to know.
If you could get, it's just one of those things where imagine if you could get the accurate number on that, like it'd probably be so devastating. It would probably be like, fuck, something where that's all PETA needs and we're fucked. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, if PETA knows that, let's say 10,000 retics are sold a year, and then like 0.5% is being kept after year 2.
It's fucked up.
And PETA's everyone's throwing their retics out the window.
I actually saw like there was a big retic, well-known retic breeder on Facebook who like he has fucking obviously retics and berms, and he's been in the game for a while, obviously, and all he does is bitch about how he can't sell his snakes, and he's telling how people are cheap, and just pretty much puts it out there, like, and he's pissed off because where the fucking retic market's going. And I actually saw his table at Arlington, and I just felt so bad for the son of a bitch, bro. Like I was just like, damn, you know, because he was like, nobody was at his table, you know what I mean, and he was just sitting there, and it was just kind of a sad moment. Like I felt for him. My heart hurt a little bit.
You know, it's interesting to me. Retic guys are. I mean, I know a few that are very successful and do well. But I see a lot of them getting out. I see a lot of berm guys getting out, and there's just like 1,000 people flooding into the ball python market every week. So
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Bring it on. You know, it's funny you said that is there's somebody, not somebody, but there's a few fucking people who are just diving in, like whatever they were doing, it's more like, well, I'm diving into ball pythons, and it's kind of like, well, you know, Godspeed on that journey for you of just dipping.
I've seen a lot more. Have you seen that more lately? Like someone buys their first 2 ball pythons and they're like, I'm doing this for a living. That's it. I'm giving up everything else. Ball pythons, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it to the point where they're just giving up on anything they were doing prior. Like they've had a couple other projects, like they weren't known for anything that had to do with ball pythons, and just overnight they post some pictures of some ball pythons, and it's all about ball pythons now. And it's not about their other projects that they were fucking known for. You know what I mean? There's one person known as you know, a certain species, like his Instagram was that species he worked with, and then all of a sudden overnight he became a brand, and it's all ball pythons.
Do you think it's because we monetize ball python? You know, like we kind of put the ball python, and I do it. I'll be honest, I'm the guy that does it. Is that I put ball pythons on this like pedestal where it's like, this is where guys are making money, and I tell people all the time, the market's so great. Everyone's making so much money, they're posting about it. So I don't know if that's the reason why people are flooding in, or, you know, people are quitting their other species just to do it. You know, oh man, I want to see. Oh, I would pay to watch a Miguel and MJ fight. That would be good.
Yeah,
we could make a lot of money for you, Sark.
I mean, that's the thing. It would have to be like a rigged fight. You know, I would only do it just to get the money there. You know, like I would do it.
No. I'll train you. He has injured ribs. You just go for the body the whole time.
All his dude. I know all Miguel's weaknesses. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about his following, the people who respect him. I don't know.
Right. You don't have to take a dive.
I don't want to fuck any of that up for my guy, bro. I guarantee the face if the Face Clan were to see what I would do to this fool, bro, they would never ever let him back inside his mansion ever. I wouldn't do that to him, bro.
You'd have to take a dive. Look, you would take a dive.
I'll just take
fight Harry Wang.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna do a winner take all type rumble.
And then we'll fucking go for the tag team championships. Me and you.
Right. Dude, we'll make so much money for you, Sark. It's crazy.
Fuck, dude, that would be epic. I would want a ramp. I would want entrance music. We would need a production.
Entrance music. Yeah, we can do. You know what though? Look, Miguel looks like a type of guy that can fight though.
He can. No, here's the thing. He's as nice as he is. He has a really strong right hook, bro. And the thing is, his brother Jesse was like an ex-professional boxer. So
dude, you can look at Jesse and tell he can fight.
Jesse looks like he used to fight with bats and fucking knives and shit. He looks like fucking me. He looked like the essays in school that you literally like don't even look at it. Their chicks, because this fool's gonna literally fucking gut you in the stalls. I don't ever fuck. I'm glad I'm good homies with Jesse and Miguel. But yeah, both those dudes could actually fight on a serious note.
Hey, that's an essay that you don't write when he's in jail. Damn, that's a good joke. Damn, I'll say that one.
That's fucked up though, because that's gonna be a lonely essay.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Damn. When was the first time you met Miguel? Was it at an auction?
I met Miguel. So I already watched his videos ahead of time, and literally in my head, I'm like, who's this douchebag? And then I met him in Tinley. He probably doesn't remember because he's a big shot, but I met him in Tinley. It might have been Tinley October, and I went to the auctions and I met him there, and I came up and fangirled and introduced myself, and then I met him again, I think, at Arlington. Yeah, we met a few times before, like me and him actually chat, and I, came up with the courage to message him and invite him to Atlanta.
Dude, the thing about Miguel, man, it's like when you finally meet him and you're around that dude, his energy, there's something where just like, I don't know, you get super hyped up and then you just fucking, next thing you know, you're on an adventure and you're having the time of your life. He just makes you
Yeah,
have.
he's super happy. He's like super happy. So it's like, how can you not be happy around him, right? So he's super happy. So I guarantee you he can fight. Like all those super happy guys, and then you
Yeah.
just piss them off one time, they just snap.
Yeah, you don't exact. Oh my god. The thing is, kind of like I'm just an ongo aggro person. I'll snap either way, you know, and I'm even, you know, happy, not happy. You could just kind of see where I'm about to snap. But what Miguel liked about me is like he, you know, we talked about he had a lot of haters, right? And or he still does. Well, in the beginning, he was getting so much hate because of the shit he was posting. Like he was posting his cars, like his fucking classic, fucking his Impala, his Ferrari. Right. Shit. So, but then like what sucked is like people that we were close to were hating on him. Like I'm talking about like friends that were apart. So, and like he wouldn't say shit to them. So I would eventually just go and fucking just take him. I would just fucking call him out. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and he would just like, damn, dude, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like you should, you know, if someone's close to you, why are you hating for? Like, well, that's fucking toxic type of shit. But you know, what are you gonna do? That shit's gonna be around no matter what, you know. And
yeah, I keep on saying that about the industry, right? So I mean, I was like, then this industry has a bunch of really good people, and then you have a bunch of toxic people. But that's every industry, man. I mean, I talked to my wife about the nursing because she comes home, complains about her coworkers or whatever, and I'm like, man, that industry is toxic as hell. These nurses be talking smack about each other. And I'll talk to my brother, and he got guys at his. So my brother's an engineer, of course. So like he's talking about dudes like over there trying to take his job and being all shady and all being all weird stuff and talking smack. I'm like, dude, that's every industry. I mean, like it seems like every industry has haters. They got guys that do good, and then you know everyone was loving him until he started doing better than them, and then you know it's all right. That's every industry.
Bob, from what you've seen in this industry in particular, what's the one thing you see people always hating on?
God, I've seen it all because they used to literally have Facebook groups dedicated to hating me. But people hate other people who make money in the industry because new people will somehow equate that to you don't care about the animals. All you care about is the money, and they always point towards that
because they're not doing it.
Like if you were making $1 million selling snakes, you would think it's awesome, and I would be a hater too. Well, sometimes, right? So there seems to be a lot of people who kind of, and it's in every industry again, is they hate success,
right?
Other people's success,
right? I mean, basically, the people who are hating on Miguel are the people who are hating on their own success. They're looking in the mirror like, wow, I'm not doing what he's doing, not even close, right. and I've been doing it for 20 years. You know what I mean? And it's like. I mean,
it's like people want to see you do good, but not better than them.
Right. Well, that's when things change. That's
right. Because then now they become haters, and they're like, wait, I mean, Miguel's a good-looking guy. Don't get me wrong, but he shouldn't be doing better than me, you know. So everyone's like, oh, I could be doing YouTube videos. I'm a good-looking guy. And then people are like, well, why don't I set up like that? Or why didn't I breed these type of animals? Why can't I be Justin? Well, because you didn't put in the same amount of work, you know, and people don't want to acknowledge that. They want to be like, well, he got lucky, or he invested in to the right animals, with the right things. They're like, it's all luck. I'm like, no, you didn't put in the amount of work that it took to do all that. Dude, you know, I edited my first YouTube video. It took me like 2 hours, and Miguel does that every day. I mean, that dude posts a lot of videos, and he spends all this time. So these people who didn't put in the same amount of hours to do this work, and they're watching someone else be successful, and they're like, why didn't that happen to me? And then now they're just haters.
Hold on, I'm writing this. So it's funny you said that Miguel does. I'm not hating either, but it's funny how you said that Miguel does his own editing and shit like that. Well, that's cap, bro. Just so you know, dude. This dude don't even pick up his own snake shit, bro. Okay, just so you know.
Okay. So he paid somebody to do that because he doesn't know how to do it.
Dude, no, for over 2 years, this motherfucker is on editing on the go, and I admire that. But no, he's at a level. He's so boss status where he always has someone doing his own editing, and it's somebody who knows how to edit the way he wants it. So he's definitely like he has other shit that he's worried about now. That's all I'm saying. His edit,
right? I mean, you got to consider though, he's willing to pay somebody to do that. most people aren't even willing to pay somebody to help them make a logo, and stuff like that to market themselves. So we was willing to do that, and I love that, dude. If I don't know how to do something, I'll pay someone to do it. I don't mind.
I wish I had somebody who I could legitimately like trust and say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you for this work, but it's the kind of work that you want them to do, because it's more passion. Like you got to have someone to want to do it just as bad as you do it, and it's hard to find because it's not their animals, it's my animals. You know what I mean? So it's hard, man. Like I said, you know who Stephen Cush is?
Name sounds super familiar. I'm sure I know him by the face.
Young guy. He's over at Reptile. He runs Cold Blooded Cafe with Desiree Fanning or Desiree Minot and fucking the crew. Okay. But he's young, bro, super young. And God damn it, where'd my mind go? What were we talking about just now?
Paying somebody to do something.
Yes. Oh, got it. Okay. So this, before Forrest left us, right? He fucking hired Steven to basically come and take over all the reptiles and all the rodents. And it's pretty much out there, but he didn't pay him shit. Like the way he paid him is by giving him the animals he wanted. So basically, I'm not going to say all of Steven's scrub collection is from Forrest, but I would say 93% of it is, okay, at least. So
I like that number.
But dude, if you really were to pay attention, man, Steven has taken this place to a whole nother level of just like fucking professionalism. I'm looking forward to visiting this place so bad, you have no idea. But this kid's 19 years old and did it all because of his passion. Like he did it because he loves it. You know what I mean? You just don't find, especially kids, a millennial, you don't find that shit nowadays, bro. It's impossible. So I mean, it's like, damn, what do you do? Like, I feel like that's probably my biggest Achilles heel is, because every now and then, Bob, you want to break away from this shit. You want to go do something. You want to live life, and I can't live life away from this place more than 3 days without fucking losing my mind. You know what I mean? My mind's always wrapped around on who's taking care of what. Oh, fuck, this tub didn't get water. Like there's always something in the back of my mind.
I think you'll find that person. You do enough of these shows, you'll find that person. I have 2 people that work at both of my snake rooms, and I can leave for a week and know everything will be taken care of. They're that passionate about the animals. I'm very lucky in my other collection. I have a girl named Katie. She works over there, and literally I can go in. Water's going to be good. If snakes lay eggs, she'll pull them. She does. I mean, and I'll be honest and say I don't do enough work I don't do this for as much money as it pays me. I honestly don't do a lot of work. So
that's what I'm talking. But that's when you're really running shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of even going back to when you manage a business, right? Or anything. If you're trying to run the show, whatever, you shouldn't be hands-on in too much shit if you're doing things right. You know what I mean?
Right. If you own a burger joint, you shouldn't be the person flipping them.
Burgers. No, yeah, you should be taking the money from the joint to the bank. That should be your job. You know what I mean? Picking up the bags, you know what I mean? Right. So but listen, I think that comes, right? Like you said, that comes with time. Right. I've only been doing this for, a handful of years, not even 3 years, 4 years. So yeah, I think you're right. But I feel like that's my biggest concern. Even when I try to leave, my wife, we got married in January. We don't have kids yet, but she wants to go do things. And I'm like, fuck, well, how long are we going to be gone for? And you know what I mean? It's like, I should be able to dip out for at least a week and not have to worry about things, but that's impossible. That's impossible, Right. So I don't know. It's a day by day thing, right? So
it'll get better, man. You do 10, 20 clutches, you do 30 clutches, and then all of a sudden you'll find someone you trust to pay to do all that stuff. Me and Mary go on we fly out of the country twice a year, man. And we go for a week at a time. I never have any worries.
Do you have a usual spot that you guys visit every year, or do you have like a original, like a routine, a place that you guys go every year, or is it just random?
We've gone to Jamaican once every year, and then on our other vacation, we always go, like we went to Dominican and Mexico again. I think we're doing Costa Rica next year. We're trying to like kind of jump around these parts a little bit. Again, it's like I go to all these islands in South America because, like you said, I can't go for 3 weeks. So, and it's not worth the trip flying 24 hours back to Vietnam to visit for a week, so yeah. I just kind of stay around here. Yeah.
It sucks because you burn at least 2 days traveling. You know what I mean?
Right. Because if you're flying to Korea or Japan or Vietnam or something, it's 24 hours over there, 24 hours back. And then when you're there, you're jet lagged from riding for 24 hours, and it's really not worth it. But I'm going to go for a week. So we kind of stay around the islands.
Have you ever been to Indonesia or Thailand or any of those
I
areas?
have not. So my buddy Eric, he does the cork bark and stuff at shows. He traveled to these countries to go herping, man, and I would love to take a herping trip like that.
Me too, man. I've been talking to my boy Andrew. Do you know who Andrew Acevedo is by chance?
I don't think so.
He's a tick guy, so he's like he works with the Super Dwarfs, like with Garrett Hartle, like pretty closely.
Okay.
But anyways,
Okay.
he's really into herping and shit. And for like the last year, we actually know some people who breed Timors and stuff over in Indonesia. And like we have the people, we just got to just set the trip, and we're trying to probably maybe pull the trigger coming next year. So, and I ask anyone who's ever been there, or if they've ever been there, because that's the one place I want to fucking check out. You know what I mean? Must be nuts.
I think Indo, Thailand, obviously Australia. Those would be like the dream herping spots. My uncle lives in Australia, so that's a possibility, I guess.
Australia, I feel like I'd be fucking scared to go herping in Australia, bro.
Right, everything kills you. Right,
yeah, everything kills you. Everything's bigger than your shoe. Like you can't even stomp it out. It's gonna you'll eat your shoe.
Everything in Australia wants to kill you all the time.
I can't even drop a deuce. You don't even know what the fuck's in the toilet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good, bro. I think I'd be okay. Nothing.
All the python slides out of the toilet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. It's pretty wild, man. What's the one species? And I mean, I want to guess this, but what's the one species you would like to add into your mix that you haven't added yet? And I'm gonna guess. Is it chondros?
No, it's not chondros. I've had a lot of chances to add chondros.
You want to know why? You want to know why I guess chondros?
Why?
Because I was hanging out with somebody in Arlington. You know who Bill Stiegel is?
Oh, damn it, Bill. He handed me one time, and I almost went home with it.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, so check this out. He gave you shit, sort of, and we were laughing about this because he said you came over to his table and you were holding one of his snakes and you were fucking really just really all about it, right? And he told you the price. It was $3,000. And you're like, oh, fuck, I don't know how my girl will feel if I drop 3 G's on this snake.
Man, it's a pet.
Right. Yeah. He's like, all right. So he but then I guess he went to your table after that and he saw all the snakes that you were selling were $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And he was like, this motherfucker could have easily got this fucking chondro. But oh man, I was laughing hard. He's like, you got to bring that up on the podcast. I was like, oh, I will. Don't worry. I will.
Like when I tell her I bought a $5,000 ball python, she doesn't blink an eye.
Yeah, because that goes into something, right?
Right. And the other day, I told her I paid $1,500 for some Australian knobtail geckos, and she goes, "What? You don't even own one of those?"
Yeah,
man,
that's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, getting a pet is kind of tough, but the one species I'd really like to add,
right,
is another species of knobtail gecko. I'm really liking them.
So the geckos.
Yeah.
Okay. What about snakes?
Oh, snakes. Apparently elephant trunk snakes are pretty nasty when they grow up, so I'm not gonna go with that.
Yeah, those are disgusting.
We can't really keep corn snakes in Georgia. Like Georgia's so weird. We can't keep corns or any native non-venomous. But I'll probably add hog noses. I don't even own a hog nose right now.
A hog nose.
No.
All right.
A lot of people breed them apparently. I see them a lot at shows. They're pretty cool. They're like the other thing boa.
Yeah, I do see a lot of ball python people they either breed samboas or hog noses. That's like their other additive projects that they have going on.
Right. They're like, it's like if you're gonna keep balls, it comes with one of these two. Pick one.
Oh shit. Fuck, dude. Hey Bob, this has been an amazing time, bro. I honestly had a great time, chatting it up with you, getting to know you more. I do have some hot seat questions for you though.
Okay, let's run it.
So we got hot seat question time for my man Bob Vu here. This is just more of a preference, what you would prefer. And we're gonna start. You ready?
Okay.
All right, hot seat question time for Bob Vu. Frozen thought or live?
Oh, live.
8 cutter or no cut?
Oh, I cut everything. Every one of them.
Big flexor or no flexor?
Flexor. Come on now.
WWF or WCW?
What? Is UFC an option?
No, we're not. No, we're talking about real sports, real entertainment.
I wrestled, man. I'm gonna go with WWF.
All right, perfect.
World Wildlife Foundation.
That's a good magazine. Hey, all right. So baseball or football?
Oh, Basketball. I guess I'll go with football. It's easier to watch.
All right, Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Are those actors?
Musicians.
They are.
You have to just pick one or the other.
What? Chris Angel. That's a guy, right? Shin Lim. Wait, at least he's Asian. Shin Lim.
All right, West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
East Coast, man. I'm on the East Coast.
Wow. All right, cool. All right, so word association. First thing to come to mind: milk,
Tea,
cocoa,
butter.
stuck shed.
Who?
Stuck shed.
Bartek.
Oh my God, egg bound.
I got a female right there. I think it's stuck.
Damn, that's terrible. Instagram trolls.
Me.
Oh, heavy. All right, one has to go. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Damn, that's
Dude,
heavy.
I'm a Facebook whore. Everyone knows it. I'm a Facebook whore.
Now you are pretty active on Facebook. Last time I checked, man.
Yeah.
But fuck, man, Bob Vu, everybody. Hey, dude, I do have to say, Bob, you've had a lot of people. We've had about 120, 130 people throughout this 2 hours. A lot of people are interested. A lot of people fuck with you. What do you have to say to everyone who fucking supports you, everyone who loves what you're doing? Even myself, man, you have amazing work. But do you have a message or anything that you would like to tell people, the newcomers or anyone who are trying to get to where you're at some point?
Yeah, man, I appreciate all the support. Obviously, none of this could have been possible without you guys, because someone needs to buy my snakes. We have a rodent shortage right now, so that's becoming a problem. But in order for you to get to this point, I think you just need to have the passion to do it. It really has nothing to do with the money, what you're going to spend and all that, because you can slowly build that up. But after a few years, you got to just have the passion to do it. And because it's very difficult to drive home from a show. It'll be Monday morning or Sunday night. You drive home and you go in the snake room and there's eggs or there's babies hatching, and then you don't want to do that stuff at 2 a.m. But if you have the passion for it, you're just gonna do it. And then sometimes at midnight, you're gonna go down and check your incubator. And so there's just stuff like that you don't want to do sometimes. But if you just have the passion for it, you'll be able to do this. I mean, there's nothing special about me or anybody else that's doing it other than we just really like snakes.
Yeah, I feel like if you're making excuses for it, you don't want it enough. That's for sure.
Right.
You're just. I know what you mean by that. My whole sleeping schedule is not even a sleeping schedule. There's times I just wake the fuck up and go to my snake room,
Right.
And I'll be right with something. I'll be like, holy shit, I'm glad I woke up because of this, and that. You know what I mean? So,
right.
That's just what comes with the territory, man. I appreciate it, Bob, bro. I will be in touch with you. I'm gonna be on your ass about fucking Pomona and you coming out. So
I'll try to be there, and I'll try to get you down to Atlanta.
Yeah, man, we'll be in touch. But Bob Vu, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, Bob. Thank you so much, bro. It's been fun.
All right, thank you guys.
Check you later, dog. All right, Bob Vu, ladies and gentlemen, that was a great episode. That fucking dude was I don't know. I feel like I had great chemistry with that guy. Awesome guy. Dude's been doing it for a minute, well established. I've loved this guy's work since I've been following him for the last 3 years. So I fuck with Bob Fu pretty heavy. Bob's balls, guys. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Had a lot of you viewers, man. So whoever was in here tuned in, before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and shout out to Lucas. Lucas, come at me, bro. I got your stickers. I got stickers for you, Lucas. Because Lucas left a comment, I fucked with it. I forgot what comment it was, but it was something I liked. So I'm gonna send you a sticker, man. Whoever wants a chance to get a sticker, leave a comment on this episode. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you thought Bob was. Whatever, man. Just drop me something. That'd be great. And then make sure you subscribe. If you support the channel in any way, hit the subscription button. That'd be great. If you want to support the channel further than subscribing, there's a link to the Patreon page. I got a group of some trappers who are trying to grow, trying to learn. I'm trying to grow with them, trying to learn with them. And we're just a tight-knit community, man. But come fuck with us. If you want to be a part of the Trap Familia, there's a link down below to the Patreon page, okay? Sign up on what membership you want to sign up, man. But I'm on there, all right? I'm bringing special guests to the table, trying to learn all together. I ain't the only one trying to. I'm not the only one trying to just gather knowledge for myself. I'm trying to spread to who wants to get it. You feel me? I don't know what I'm saying. But I had a great time tonight, guys. Make sure if you're interested in a special edition Fuck Bob Smith shirt, Trap Talk Podcast, that Trap official trap wear, get at me, man. There's a couple sizes left. And I'm only releasing these once, and I'm not going to be releasing these a lot. So the ones who get these shirts are going to be the chosen ones to actually have that lifestyle on the back. Hashtag fuck Bob Smith. And if you guys don't know who Bob Smith is, join the Patreon page. All you have to do is ask one of my Patreon members, hey, who's Bob Smith? And it's out there, man. Bob Smith is a fucking lifestyle. It's not an actual person. I'm not going to say no more. Become a Patreon member, and then we'll let you know who the fuck Bob Smith really is, the whole backstory, all that stuff. John, you want a large? I don't do business on the podcast, John. Holler at me. Facebook, Instagram, email, link in the description below. That goes to anyone out there who wants a shirt. Reach out to me. I'm going to take care of you, man. But I appreciate everyone who tuned in. Appreciate all my Patreon members. You guys know who the fuck you are. 1776, one of them. My homie Josh, one of them. There's a few of you guys out there, man. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. And I love all my viewers. Dylan's also one of them. Shout out to my boy Dylan. Yeah, guys. Bob fucking Vu in the building. He was fun. You guys were amazing. Hope you guys took a lot from tonight's episode. I know I did. Dude, I started laughing. I'm not gonna lie. I started fucking laughing inside when he was like, yeah, you're producing $2,000-$3,000 snakes and you're gonna put it inside a wooden rack. I don't have wooden racks. I do have Home Depot racks. And I was just like, oh my God. I wanted to tell him so bad. I was like, bro, you know I have Home Depot racks, right? I was like $200 to build. But it's already on my list, my to-do list. It's gonna be 2021, but MJ's about to get a whole rack system upgrade, and this shit's gonna be so hard. But I'm having fun, man. I'm doing me. As long as I'm doing me, I'm good, right? Just everyone do them. Fuck what anyone else says. Do you, and have fun doing it, man. Period. Because I'm having fun. All right, have a good night. I'll check you out. Oh, dude, next week, right? So check this out. Unfiltered Reptile, or not Unfiltered, I'm sorry. You should follow Unfiltered, by the way. But Trap Talk with MJ from a special secret location next Thursday night. The guest, a special guest. I'm not going to even reveal who the guest is. Next week's going to be special. I probably will do some stories and whatnot, at some point next week to start building it up. But that's why you should go ahead and follow my page, my Instagram page, mjexoticscartal, because if anyone follows me, knows my stories are off the chain. I was voted best stories 2019. I just haven't gotten the plaque yet. But my stories, it's just me doing my thing every day and alpaca stuff, you know what I mean? But it's trap heavy. It's what I put all my work into my stories, I feel like, right? And I feel like I should probably just put that in my Patreon page, but I'm not that greedy. I know you guys love my stories. So I will put some shit out there in my stories about next week's episode, but it's not going to be here. It's not going to be in the fucking hospital, knock on wood. Holy shit. That'd be terrible. For the clout, maybe not. I got a lot of clout for that hospital fucking episode. Yee. All right, I'll see you guys.